Q&A, Part 2. Muscle Tussle asks, what are your Plandemic predictions for 2022 and 2023? Well, I'm encouraged by the extent to which there's been widespread pushback, particularly in places like Europe and places where it's really bad, like Austria. I saw some footage of some of the demonstrations they've been having, and I just, I don't know. I don't have any specific predictions. Except I would say that all of these places these places where the state authorities are setting these draconian plans in motion, where they're basically saying, we're going to fine you unless you take the toxic sludge in your arm. I don't think there's enough manpower for them to enforce this stuff the way that they want to make it seem like there is. This is my impression. I mean, even in places like Austria and Australia and New Zealand and the places where it's worst right now, it's and where the mandates are the most tyrannical, where the government is behaving in the most draconian manner imaginable, there's still crime going on. People are still committing actual crimes, like murder, like armed robbery, like rape, you name it, down the line. I'm talking about things that are actual crimes, not these bogus mandates, these bogus and tyrannical mandates. So how much longer can the constabulatory authority of any given nation, how long can they just act like babysitters for the population? Especially when there is a huge number of the population that wants no part of this forced mandate. I think it's going to be protracted. I think it's going to go on. I think these kinds of these nations where they're trying to flex their muscles and say, we're gonna force this down your throats. And you've got assholes like Macron in France saying he wants to. He's the enemy of the 5 million people who don't want to go for his toxic sludge injection program, and how he intends to just stick it to them. He doesn't consider them citizens, and you've got assholes like Justin Trudeau up north saying that if you're against the toxic sludge in the arm, the mandated toxic sludge in the arm, that you're racist and misogynist, and just this whole and of course we've heard what we've heard from our own administration here in the United States. This kind of rhetoric that they're engaging in right now, where you're not a legitimate citizen unless you are with the program that they have demanded. That's bluster. That's like draconian bluster. That's like trying to flex their muscles. But I don't think they're that tough. I don't think they're that strong. I don't think they've got the manpower to make this kind of thing happen. And I think they're gonna blink, and it's going to go on. At some point, hopefully down the line, they'll say, well, we've got just because some point down the line they'll say, well, we've got enough arms injected with toxic sludge that we're going to stop making this an issue anymore. But who knows? That's just what I see happening. I just don't see, there's all of this talk, and I realize it's dire. I realize, and it tears me up inside. To just seeing, and I've got it pretty good where I'm at right now. There's a here in the United States, particularly in the American South, there's a lot of freedom that we have. But I see places in the world, including Canada, up north, where they're trying to force gyms to close down now. And I've never been more incensed with the authorities. I've never felt more anarchic than I do right now. Because the authorities have shown themselves time and time and time again just to want to behave in the most authoritarian manner possible. They want to seize control of this contrived crisis in order to consolidate their power, because they somehow seem to feel that they have somehow the mandate of heaven to do whatever they feel like they want to do. And it's sickening. It's disgusting. I've never been more pissed off with the state, with state authorities, with governors, with prime ministers. To the point where if some of these people start kicking off or start dying, I'm not going to mourn. I'm not going to mourn the death of Justin Trudeau or Emmanuel Macron or any of these others. Am I saying that we should kill them? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if they should die, that would be a good thing, because they've shown themselves to be absolute tyrannical beasts, and whatever residual respect I once had for state authorities. I'm not a total anarchist, but in the midst of all of this, I am. My thoughts are bloody. So, changing the subject. Midnight Rider asks, have you seen The Irishman? And if so, were you disappointed with it? I saw it. I wasn't really disappointed. I thought it was pretty good. But it's been a while. I didn't think that was the same year as Joker. That was the year that I was pretty wowed by Joker over everything else. So yeah, but I thought it was good. I thought The Irishman was good. I don't have really a strong impression of it now because it's been a little while. I thought the acting was good. I thought the de-aging was not terribly distracting. I thought, seeing Robert De Niro as a youngish man with this de-aging technology, and thought it worked. So no, I wasn't disappointed. I wouldn't say, but it wasn't Joker at the same time. That was the movie of the year for me and for a lot of people. What was the last Steven Spielberg film you thought was good? Minority Report might get the nod there. Munich. Was Munich before or after Minority Report? I can't quite remember right now, but I would say those two are both really good movies. So whichever one of those was made later would be the one that I can think of that was good. answered the question about books. If a genie Tacitus says, if a genie granted you 3 wishes, what would they be? I don't know. See, these kinds of questions, not to pick on you, Tacitus, but this kind of question kind of bores me, because what am I wishing for? Am I wishing I mean, it's almost like it's too wide open, too I can wish for anything other than more wishes. So I would have to wish for uh, peace on earth, and I'd have to wish for an end to all disease or something. I don't know. Um, and that's just kind of boring stuff. But if you said it had to be about me, it had to be something that, like, I think that this question would be more interesting if you were to limit it in some way and say you have to, the wishes have to be pursuant to X or Y. Otherwise, it's just too open-ended, and of course I'm just going to wish for gay crap like world peace. I mean, how could I not? I've got 3 wishes and they can be for anything, and then of course I've got to make the world a better place with my if I just make it about me, say I want $100 million, uh then that's I can't really do that unless I'm absolutely limited to doing that. Armored Ghost asks, "Where is Tiffany Dover?" This is one I had to look up. That's a good one. Tiffany Dover was the nurse. I believe it was in Tennessee when they were first given the toxic sludge injections, who passed out on camera. Oops, not great PR for Pfizer and the gang. And then there were questions about, was she okay? There was a cover story saying, she passed out, but it didn't have anything to do with the shot. And then they said, well, where is she now? And there was supposedly some picture of her the next day wearing a mask, but other people said it didn't look like her. It was a very intriguing thing. And some people were insistent that maybe she had died. But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. That question. Good. It is a good question to ask, though. Bunny Juno asks, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" I don't have any idea. It's contingent upon a lot of things. But where I'd like to see myself is in some kind of position where I can write, and where I can, have I want to write more than I want to do anything else. Writing is what I was put here to do. But I also want to be read, so I'm hoping that in 5 years, some more avenues open for me, and I am read more, and maybe I can make it as a full-time author. That would be my goal, but that's not. I don't know if that's where I see myself. That would be just what I would like to. That's how I'd like for things to be. Mick asked, "The best band you've seen in a small, low-ceiling club?" Well, I could say Atlanta Becomes a Man, which is the band that I was in the 90s, but that would be cheating. I would say the band that my friend Chris is now a part of, called the Shut Ups, are great, and he was the drummer for Atlanta Becomes a Man. And he's the band leader of this band called the Shut Ups out of Atlanta. That's really good, that I do recommend to anyone, especially who likes new wave, power pop, that sort of sound with clever and interesting lyrics. Elvis Costello meets Devo kind of lyrics. Um, so and if I wanted to get really obscure, I remember a time I was visiting a friend who lived in Iowa City in the early '90s, and we went to a club one night just for the hell of it. And there was a band there by the name of Mold. I think it was Mold, like Mould, like like the mold that develops on bread. And they were really good. They were, but this is going back a ways. They were really fun to watch. They had um, they had some catchy tunes. They were kind of a little bit punk, but also kind of quirky, like maybe a little bit like Talking Heads esque. Except there was like 10 people in the band. I can't remember. It was like they had maybe a horn section. They had a really interesting, and like 3 or 4 different singers, but nobody's going to know who I'm talking about right now. So I just thought I'd throw that in there. Okay, a couple more. I didn't think I was going to get so hot and bothered about talking about the lockdowns and everything, but man, I'm just frosted. I've had it. I have just had it. I've had it with these people. Got the bloodlust. Okay, so a couple more. Will you do more 80s lyrical analysis? Yeah, or lyrical analysis of something of whatever tune catches my ear. I think those are a nice change of pace from just talking about, I don't know, talking about the world, which I don't really like to talk about anyway. Some suggestions. I didn't mean to turn you on. Well, I performed that one. You must not have seen it. Yeah, I like that song. I actually sang I Didn't Mean to Turn You On, the karaoke version of it. I did that, I think, on my last channel. I don't think it's available for viewing anymore. Steppin' Out by Joe Jackson. I don't know about that one, but it's a good song, but I don't know. It's not calling out to me. But yeah, I'll definitely do some more lyrical analysis. Baru asks, if you inherited $1 million, what would you do with it? I don't think I wouldn't do very much. I don't think I would really live all that differently, except I would maybe not work any job. I wouldn't worry about working a day job anymore, and I would just devote myself full time to writing and to grooving on life, man. Okay. Well, that's another good place to stop. Thanks for watching, and we'll get to the rest of your questions next time or soon. Bye.